Hey guys, good morning. Justin here with Advanced Photo Tours. Today we're going to go through and we're going to do an edit of some pictures that I took in Philadelphia at Independence Hall. And we're going to go through and we're going to blend a few different images that we have here to show some light trails going past. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to jump in here and we are going to take a look at the images that we have here. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a Control A. We're going to select all of the images, and then we're going to take those over into Photoshop where we're going to blend them, and we'll just right click, and then we will go to Edit In and go down here to where it says Open as Layers in Photoshop, and then we'll jump over to Photoshop here, open those up. What that's going to do is that's going to open those up in layers over here on the right hand side, so all of the pictures that we had there will be stacked here in layers. And we'll just give that a second. And one more. Let's see. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to turn these off here. And we're going to decide what is going to be our background layer. And it looks to me like maybe we're going to put that one down at the bottom. And the reason I say that is because that has the least amount of activity going on right here as far as the light trails are concerned. And then as you can see, we've got more activity over here. And then as we add this one, you'll see that we have this. And then the final one, we have that here. And what that actually is that was a bus that was going by. So what we're going to do is we're just going to come in here and we're going to select the second layer here, and we're going to go into our blend modes here, and we're just going to go to Lighten. And we're going to do that with all of those. And you'll see the final result once we do the top layer. As we click Lighten there, now you can see how we have each layer adds to the other. That one adds that motion down here at this end, and then we add that motion there, and finally we add that motion here, so we can see the bus move all the way through the picture from the right of the frame to the left. So once we've got that, don't see any other issues that we might want to address while we're here. What we're going to do is just push Control S, and we're going to save that back over to Lightroom. So then once we get back over here, we're going to go through here and we find our photo here. I'm just going to drag that to the end here. So now that we can see, we have the blend of all of these photos here combined together in this image here. And this is the one we'll be working off of. So first thing we're going to do here is we're going to switch over to the develop module here. And we're going to go through and we're going to adjust the exposure here. You know, you can play with it, bring it all the way up, you can bring it all the way down, but what you want to do is find a spot where the important areas are not blown out. So we'll zoom in on that, and we're just going to give it a little bit of contrast. Now we're going to bring our highlights down, and I want you to see what that's doing to the overall image. So you can see there's a lot of different areas with highlights. We're bringing those down so that we can keep the detail in some of these areas. And then we can bring our shadows up, which will give us a little bit more detail in the foreground here. And we may want to turn our whites down and just play with that and see what that does. You can see you can go too far and it just really blows them out. And then you can bring up the blacks. You can see where that's affecting by adjusting those. A lot of these areas down here on the building here, some in the sky. So we want to get those to a point where we feel we've got enough detail in these areas without creating too much of a draw on the areas that are of focus here, which is the building and the lights going by here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of dehaze to it, and I want to just really bring this down, and you can see how foggy and hazy that makes the picture. You can bring it all the way up, and you can see how that affects the picture as well. But what we want to do is find a spot where it looks pretty good. We don't have a lot of fog, if you will, in the picture. Then we're going to bring our vibrance up, and we can just see, like, if we bring it all the way down, it's going to take most of the color out of the photo. We bring it all the way up, obviously going to bring way too much color in, so we want to find a nice balance where our bricks look like brick here. We have nice color and the light trails going by. And then saturation will just show you, like, if we completely bring that down, we desaturate the image completely, and what we have is basically a black and white version of the photo. All the way up obviously looks very unnatural, so we want to get it to a point where it doesn't look too unnatural, but the colors are vibrant. And then one of the things that we can do here also is adjust the temperature as well. All the way down, cools it. This way warms it up. We want something that looks normal and natural though. Not too cool. A little bit, I'd say maybe right about there. And then as far as the basic panel here is concerned, that's where we're going to leave it. And then we're going to go back down in here into the transform section. As you can see here, if you just click the auto transform, what it's going to try to do is straighten that building so that it looks correct as far as the perspective is concerned. And the auto transform in a lot of cases works very well, and I'm happy with what we got there, so I'm going to stick with that. Next, what we're going to do here is we're going to go in and we're going to crop this photo, and the way that we're going to do that is we're going to go to one of the presets that I use. This one, the 1200 by 628, is currently what the correct crop ratio is for Facebook, which is where we'll more than likely be sharing this image. And we want to make sure that we get the foreground here. We have this line here, which is close to lined up with the, we'll line it up with the clock. And then we have these cross points here where our focus of interest, which is honestly not very, I think I like that right about there. So we're going to apply the crop by pressing enter, and then you can see that you have this nice leading line here taking you from the right to the left of the frame, down the street, past the Independence Hall here in Philadelphia. And with that, what we're going to do is we're going to call that a day right there, and that's it. So blending images in Photoshop and sending them back to Lightroom, editing and cropping your photo. There you go, guys. Let me know if you have any questions below in the comments, and if you guys found any value here, please subscribe, click the little notification bell, like the video. Let me know. Thank you.